Hello and welcome to another edition of Know Your Schools on WISD TV. My name is Dale Caffey. My special guest today is a very familiar face to all of you. It's Dr. Bill Shepard, who has been with the district in many capacities at the principalship level, elementary, middle, high school, now heading back to middle. We'll get into that in just a few minutes, but Dr. Shepard, thank you so much for joining us again today. Let's talk about your journey through Waco ISD.
Waco's been a special place. I entered at Mountain View Elementary, and we became an International Baccalaureate PYP campus. That was exciting. Then I traveled over to Lake Air Intermediate with 5th and 6th grade. That was even more exciting. And then Dr. Kane asked me if I would come to university, and I spent 3 years at University High School. And with all good intentions, thought about retiring, and she twisted my arm a whole bunch and said, hey, would you go to Chavez? So this year I'm off to Chavez. I think it's going to be a really rewarding experience.
You did some great things here at university at your time here. One only has to walk into this campus and I feel the atmosphere here. Friendly, the kids are focused, they're friendly, they greet you at the door too and ask you how you're doing. Talk about your time here and the way you sort of transformed this campus into such a welcoming campus.
You know, I think students want structure. They want to know what the rules are, they want to know what you expect out of them, and then they want to be involved. And I think that's pretty much what University High School is. We came in and we started a cohort principal system where there's a principal for each grade level, a principal and a counselor, and they stay with them all 4 years. And then we really wanted to start talking about expectations of becoming an adult. What is it like when you enter the world of work, and how does that look when you're in high school? And in the world of work and going off to college, you ought to know how to introduce yourself, how to be friendly, how to help people. University is really about service orientation. University and lots of different organizations does service projects. And when you kind of ingrain that in students, it really catches on.
Now, one of the reasons that Dr. Kane wanted you to go down to the CCMS, I say down, it's just a transfer across town to a middle school, Cesar Chavez Middle School, and you felt the same way, is that was a great way for you to help University High School in the long run, because those students are going to be Trojans.
Chavez is the only feeder middle school to University High School. So really, I've been with probably their older brothers and sisters at university. I've got to know their parents. So 900 kids at Chavez is like going, still working a lot with the same parents, younger brothers and sisters at Chavez. And I think it's a great opportunity to get them off on a smooth start so that when they enter university, it's pretty seamless.
And a lot of those parents are going to already know your expectations. Talk about how you go into Chavez now and try to do the same things. Are you going to do the same things you did here at the middle school level?
We are going to use the cohort principalship. So there'll be a 6th grade principal, Eric Kentu, and a 7th grade principal, Kathleen Kilgore, and an 8th grade principal, Suzanne Hamilton. So they will be with those students all 3 years through Chavez, so they'll get to know the parents. And then we're going to try to have a 6th grade is going to look drastically different than it has before. We think there needs to be some step between elementary 5th grade and middle school 7th and 8th grade, and we're going to try something different with 6th graders. Let's
talk about what you're going to try there. You sort of are not going to have them having that many class changes during the day and other things. If you could elaborate.
The 6th graders will enter into a color pod system, so that 100 students will all have the same English, math, science, and social studies teachers in groups of 25, and they'll rotate among those 4 teachers. So if a parent wants to come in and meet with anyone, a Chavez teacher, they can meet with all 4 of their core teachers during their conference time. There'll be 6 periods. Students will not enter out into the hallway when 7th and 8th graders are out there. They'll have their own separate lunch, set at class tables together. Teachers will help get them to their PE classes and to their elective classes. And it's a more structured time. And And as we go through the year, they will earn more privileges like 7th and 8th graders, so that they'll be tracking their attendance and their behavior and their grades. And when they meet certain goals, well, then they'll earn more privileges throughout the year, more like 7th and 8th grade.
If I'm not mistaken, the referral rate is always high at the 6th grade level as the students get into middle school, and the freshman level as they get into high school. Would that be correct?
I think when you look at Waco ISD middle schools, the referral rate of the students in the 5th grade is quite low, and then when they get to the 6th grade, it probably triples. So their star grades either are stagnant or go down a little bit, and the referral rates go up. So we're trying to create an environment that breeds success for them, that focuses on the student, focuses on what they need as far as growing up before they get to 7th and 8th grade, and not dumping them into more like a high school transition period where 7 times a day they're changing classes. We're there to help them get to the right classes, and then with that color concept, they'll be just trading classes across the hallway.
I know that we're communicating that plan for 6th graders right here on WISD TV. Have you had a chance, though, to communicate it out in the community? And if so, what kind of feedback are you getting?
I'm getting positive feedback. We had a 5th grade orientation night before school was out, and then before school was out, I met with all the 5th graders at all 4 of the feeder campuses, at the elementary campuses. Talk to them about what 6th grade was going to be like. Have had a number of parent calls, and when they come in to register, that they're thankful that there is a transition between 5th and middle school, and that 6th grade environment is going to be different and more student oriented.
Talk about your visits to Bells Hill, South Waco, Alta Vista, and I'm forgetting one now. Kendrick, I'm sorry, Julie Sapal's campus. Talk about your visits there and how you sort of, did you go into each individual 5th grade classroom, or did you have a 5th grade assembly?
We had a 5th grade assembly, so usually there were 3 or 4 5th grades at each one of those campuses, and they came either into the lunchroom or the library. And Coach the ones who went, I went, Coach Chapman, the soccer coach here at University, and then I took 2 soccer players, seniors, that were on the state soccer championship team. And we talked to them about going on to middle school, our expectations of middle school, you know, that we wanted to keep track of what they were doing and get them extra help so they'd be successful, and that we thought it would be a good environment.
How will current students now at University High School fall into your plans to get what you want to out of the students at CCMS? I'm assuming that you're going to say, hey, come over here and talk to these kids.
I think we have a number of things that we're going to set up. First of all, we're going to use peer mediators from University High School. Whenever middle school kids, he said, she said, having trouble, all those kinds of things that happen in middle school, to use University High School students to be peer mediators. We're going to invite the student court system here at University to come work with our kids as kind of a first level of discipline and consequences, to hold student court at Chavez. We want to hook in with junior ROTC, with soccer, and Key Club, and those kinds that does community service organizations that we can also tag along, and Chavez kids can go with them and enter into some of their community service aspects.
Great. You have a lot of great plans for Cesar Chavez Middle School. Going to take you back, though, pre-education. You're an Air Force guy. So how does you basically had a pretty good career in the Air Force, but then you got out and got into the education realm. How did that happen?
I went Texas A&M, you know, had to put a plug in there, paid for my way through college, and then I had a 4-year commitment in the Air Force, and I was a pilot. So I was in the Air Force for 22 years and retired as a lieutenant colonel. And my first teaching job was at Conley High School as Air Force Junior OTC. So, you know, I'm an Abbott farm kid. Both of my parents were teachers, and there were 5 kids in my family. So the ability to see the world, and I was a C-5 pilot in the Air Force, to travel all around the world, I think it gave me a different perspective of what the world was like. You know, if I would just been an Abbott kid and a Texas kid, Texas A&M, but that Air Force gave me a view of that I can take with it and share with kids.
Great. Dr. Shepard, as always, it's a pleasure talking to you, and best of luck this year as you take on a new task at Cesar Chavez.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We have 55 wonderful teachers at Chavez, and we're all ready to go.
Very good. Once again, our guest today on Know Your Schools has been Dr. Bill Shepard. He is the new principal at Cesar Chavez Middle School. My name is Dale Caffey. Thank you so much for joining us for Know Your Schools on WISD TV.